Crude oil is in the crosshairs once again. Geopolitical times have once again arisen, and we've seen crude oil go from the high 60s to the high 70s, even touching $80 more recently. I decided to put on a couple of trades, and who better to talk to me about those trades than Craig Bewick from the CME. Craig, how you doing, my friend?
Great. Thanks for having me back.
For sure, always. It's an interesting time once again.
It is. You know, I don't think people would believe us, but we didn't plan it. It's just kind of happened that I was here on today and had planned to talk about crude, and then we had the volatility that we've seen.
Yeah, there's been some big moves, particularly over the last 2 days here. It started once again kind of over the weekend, right? I mean, it seems to be how it goes, but crude oil was trading around 68, 69, just below $70, and it just touched $80 more recently. So, you know, I could say honestly, I didn't really believe in the move. I wasn't really sure. I honestly haven't read a whole lot of the news. I think that's kind of very tasty-like. I'm not really dissecting the news. I'm not a war strategist, but I'm a trader, and I'm trying to find ways to take advantage of those moves.
Yeah, I mean, Tasty, it's about the math, right? Not necessarily about the headlines, but certainly the headlines are driving some of this move that we've seen recently. And you know, I think you've got trades in two different crude products, which I think is great because it kind of showcases the different sizes and the different things that you can do, the flexibility that the two different sizes, the crude and then the crude options, can give a trader.
Absolutely, and again, it's not planned. I did them for very specific reasons that we can go into, and you'll probably be better at detailing the idea behind maybe why I'm doing these trades. I mean, I can obviously talk about the strategy. You can talk about more to the products, but let's just get into it.
Yeah, let's jump into it.
A couple of crude trades we got going on here. So a couple of trades we got here, like you said, using both of the products. I used CL for the call spread, honestly. I feel like, look, I've watched the last couple of days of crude. It was around 74, 75. It made a jump to 78. I decided it was an interesting time to get long a call spread in crude. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money, Craig. Honestly, when I look at something like crude, it's a very big contract. I'm risking $680 for my portfolio, which is about $100K now. That works fine. I mean, that's a small trade for a $100,000 portfolio. But I like a trade where I can risk maybe one to make two, and that's exactly what this is. So I bought the 70-80 call spread with the idea that crude is about to push through 80 in a strong way. And so risking $680 to possibly make $1,320 seemed like a pretty good deal to me.
Yeah, and obviously I'm not going to comment on the trade, but certainly, you know, using that bigger CL contract, and you know, we're going to get into that a little bit, but that big one is 1,000 barrels of crude. So I think to your point, you know, especially in the volatility environment that we're in right now, that's a big contract if you're not defining some sort of risk on that, right? And that's what that call spread does for you, is it defines a risk as at the time you put on that trade, right? So, you know, at 1,000 barrels of crude, you know, if we got into the numbers when you said you're risking, what, 680?
Yep.
So that's 68 cents, right, is what it's going to look like to a trader on the screen. That difference is going to be you're paying 68 cents, but because it's 1,000 barrels, that's $680 that you're, you know, premium that you're putting up for that trade. Is that right?
That's exactly right. Good call. And look, I put this trade on because, again, oil at the time was sitting around $78 to $79, and I figured it's going to touch 80 for sure. This is one where the other thing I should mention, I did in the July 24th expiration, which is 10 days out. So I am thinking that sooner rather than later, oil is going to be pushing through 80, upwards of 85, maybe even to 88 or maybe to 90. Who knows? But this is my idea behind the trade. And look, risk management wise, if it falls below and it starts to trade back around to 75 or 73, we still have a little bit of volatility value in this spread. At most, I might end up losing 50%, which again, that's not nothing, like $340.
Sure.
But I can withstand that loss. And at that point in time, if oil is trading $72, say with 5 days to go, I might roll this trade further out in time and give myself a little bit more time, or take the trade off completely, depending on how it seems that oil is trading. So that's my idea behind this trade.
Yeah, and I think, you know, what's key about that, and it's key about both of these products, the standard and the micro, is that there are liquid options associated with both of those contracts. So it does give you that flexibility, because if you can imagine a situation where you only had the future to trade, that's a lot of risk, right? 1,000 barrels of crude, and you're either long or short.
Especially with the amount of
with the headline-driven news that we were talking about just now. So the options give you that flexibility, and then within the options, then you have the flexibility to do all of that adjusting that you were just talking about, the way Tasty Trade does it.
I don't have to wake up in the middle of the night and wonder where oil is trading. I'm
right.
risking $340,
You know what's
$680 on this trade, potentially get out a $340 loss, and it's fine.
And you know what's at risk.
And I do know, again, just based on volatility to the upside in oil, you're going to need bigger than a move to $80. You're going to need probably a little bigger than a move to $85 to even make possibly $300, $400 on this trade. I'm aware of that. So I'm thinking somewhere around 90 is where I really probably make some pretty good money on this trade. The reason why I bring that up is because we get to our second trade. And this is something that I've learned where I think a lot of people gravitate towards what I do as far as my trades, because I've learned stuff from a prop firm. This is the kind of trade that you put on. You put on one trade that you really want to win. You put on another trade that in case you don't win or things don't progress the way you want them to, you can still make some money. And there's a lot of scenarios in here. So let me just lay it out.
Yeah.
I ended up buying a 1x2 call spread, selling 2 to the upside. So I bought one of the 80 calls, and this is an MCL. A lot smaller product. I can withstand selling 2 to the upside in MCL versus doing this trade in CL. Even though I have a bigger account, I don't necessarily want to lay out a much higher premium that I would have in CL versus doing this in MCL. So this particular trade only, for margin-wise, only ended up costing me about $200, right, to be able to sell 2 to the upside. I sold 2 of the 87s, bought 1 of the 80s. This one has 34 days to expiration. Now, I didn't do them in the same expiration because I feel like oil is going to move a lot faster in the near term and maybe could punch through the strike in the nearer term. And so I wanted to give it a little bit further time. Again, I understand risk is to the upside as far as the convexity, but you know, look at my break even here. My break even here is $95.60. So, and again, in a smaller contract, even if it were to get to 95, at that point, I am likely almost making the full amount of money on my 78.80 call spread in CL. I could be losing on the order, I would imagine, of $300 to $400 in here. Overall, that's a net win. And so that's how I'm looking at this trade.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And again, the key here is the size of the contracts. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that makes you comfortable with that sort of unlimited risk to the upside, right? Because you sold those 2 calls to the upside, if it does blow through there, the risk is unlimited, right? Let's be clear about that. But that's 1/10 the size of the product we were just talking about. So instead of 1,000 barrels of crude, each one of these futures contracts represents 100 barrels. And my guess is that the reason you put that risk defined on in the crude and this sort of kind of unlimited risk in the micro crude is because you are more comfortable, you know, with that risk and the capital that's really at stake there.
Yeah, I am. Like I said, I would imagine, you know, if let's just say we're at the break even, I could end up being down somewhere from $300 to $500. But I'm also almost positive I would be up more than $800 or so on the other call spread. And so again, that'd be a net win. You know, where things, and that's probably the best time to go ahead and think about how these trades work together. Let's just say crude slips to $78. I am probably going to, and this is all about time frames too. Again, we're talking about options here. So if that happens in the next day or so, I'm not going to really be down that much. If that happens with only 2 days ago, I'm probably going to be down most of that money on the 78.80 call spread. And honestly, before 2 days ago, I'm probably going to risk manage I'm probably going to try to start mismanaging just with 5 days ago.
Yeah.
All depends on where oil is going to be. See, that's the thing. You got to think about all the scenarios. You really do.
Right.
If oil is somewhere between 80 to 87, that's actually a really good situation. We're winning on both of those. Sweet spot here if oil pushes to 85 plus. Again, our upside break even on the short, the 1x2 short 2 upside is further up. And again, it's $95. And that's where things start to get hairy, right? That's where I would really have to manage. I would say the real risk here is if oil is trading 90, I still have this trade on, both these trades on, and then for some reason we wake up and oil jumps $10. That's the real risk here, right?
Right, and it's a real risk, right? And you can't dismiss it, but that's a risk that you're willing to take. You have that risk appetite, you have the capital for that. So that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, and again, we haven't seen that too often. I mean, again, if oil jumps $20 over the next 2 days, well, that's wild. I think I'll still be okay on both trades, but I'm taking them both off immediately. There's no other scenario for me to wait on.
Yeah.
That happens really soon here. We just jumped $20 to 100. I'm probably going to be down $500 to $600 on the upside 1x2 call spread, but I will probably be up maybe 800 to 1,000. I'm not going to make the full money on that call spread at 78.80.
Sure.
Because of just the way oil works.
Right, but and it's interesting to look at the trades together, which you have to do, right? And I think that was intentional probably when you put them on, is to look at them together. And if you wanted to, you could you put the Greeks together and really kind of do some analysis on exactly where you're at. But it makes a lot of sense to me. And I don't know if you were around in 2008, 2009.
Yeah,
in the markets.
I started trading in 2006. 2008 was my learning.
Okay, so wow, so that was steep learning curve.
Yes.
But to me, that was where that was the situation where I said anything can happen. There's nothing that can't happen. So when you talk about crude moving $20, it could happen, right? And people need to be aware of that. Is it likely? I have no idea. But I bring that up because that was the time in my career where I no longer said that something can't happen.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, I started in 06. By 07, I was like, I got this options thing by 08. I have no idea
Right.
what's going on.
Right.
So the things we got to watch for obviously are the Iran conflict and Strait of Hormuz. That's the main thing that's moving this up again. OPEC decision is something to pay attention to, but to be quite honest, and we talked about this offline, OPEC hasn't been moving oil as much.
OPEC's changed a little bit, I think. One thing I would point out, and it might be interesting, is that CME does have a tool on its website similar to the FedWatch tool called the OPEC Watch tool.
Okay.
And it uses crude oil options, the same options that we've been talking about, to try to predict what the OPEC is going to do at its next meeting. Now, it only is live, I guess I'd say, when we're coming into an OPEC meeting, so it may not be up today. But it's a tool worth looking at if you're trading oil.
Nice, good to know. So yeah, I would say for me in these trades, I'm looking at the top and the bottom of the screen here. Iran conflict or Hormuz, probably oil is going higher, probably looking at that 90 scenario. New ceasefire or truce, we're probably going to be back down to 70s, and that's just kind of how it's going to go.
Seems to be what's been driving it lately.
Absolutely. So in recap here, we have a long call spread in the CL contract, $1,000 per point and $78.80. 78.80 is the call spread here with 10 days to go. Paid 68 cents for it, which equates to $680. And there's my max profit there. You can see my break even is 78.70, but right now oil is trading 80. We'll see where this ends up. And again, lower probability of profit on this, but it's like that a lot of times with call spreads. That's why I chose one that was already in the money to give myself a little bit higher chance of possibly making money. Again, I could have went further up to 80. I'm thinking, I could have been like, I think oil is going to be 80, between 80 and 85, but that would have been a lower probability of profit. I wanted to be closer to at the money. And then I have the ratio spread where I'm buying one of the 80s to sell two of the 87s. Did this in MCL on purpose because it is a smaller contract, $100 per point. And so these are my two trades. Again, a 91% probability of profit, but again, probabilities you always want to have on your side. What it doesn't know is that oil could be trading above 95 or 100 at some point.
Anything can happen.
We have no idea.
We can't say something can't happen. But yeah, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me, and I think it's worth pointing out just to, again, because if someone's not used to options on futures and maybe they're used to options on equities, that 100 multiplier is just kind of implicit, like it's just natural. Yeah. Whereas the way that we come up with the dollar amount based on the cost of the trade, so 68 cents. How does that get to $680? Well, because it's 1,000 barrels of crude. So it's 1,000 barrels times that 68 cents gets you to the 680. And then on the micro, it's 100 times $1, 155 or one spot 55 gets you that 155. So, and I always say it's not rocket science, but it's just one of those things that you have to learn. If you're new to options on futures, is that multiplier, that it's not always 100 the way it is in stocks. And it's not hard, but it's just something that you have to get used to.
Yeah, it just takes a little bit of studying, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of how it goes.
And not even studying, you just got to know, you just got to learn it.
That's true. No, you just gotta
right? Because it's put it up on your screen and they're all there. But it is like, and it is one of those things where people that aren't used to it, they just don't know it. So I think it's worth pointing out again.
So if you see this video and you see that crude oil is trading at around $87 or $88 before July 22nd, just know Jermal Chandler is winning, folks. This has been another CME and Tasty meetup. Craig Bewick from the CME. I'm Jermal Chandler at Tasty Live. Please like and subscribe all content on Tasty Live. Thanks for watching.